In our world today, where there's constant information flowing through media, from family, friends, co-workers, and people, you have a lot of information out there today. And I'm calling for you as individuals in our country and in our world to simply think for yourself. Question the narratives, question what is being told to you, and simply think for yourself. Here's why. Let's go ahead and get to it in this video. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope everyone's doing well today. In this video today, I'm talking about simply just being people who think for themselves, who question the narrative, who question information and resources that are put out into the world that make people or easily influence people to think one way or the other. Right? Why am I saying that we should think for ourselves in this video? So I'll use quite a few examples. One being politics. A lot of times with politics, you have politicians running for an election. You have people who are heavily concerned about who's going to win, why they should win, and obviously they have their opinions, but a lot of their opinions are based on what they see, like what they see as far as what's going on in the world around them, what politicians are saying, the people that are running for office are trying to, galvanate ways to influence their audience to vote for them so that they can get the votes so that they can win the election, right? And during that time frame, you see the results of the economy. You see what's going on as far as how people are struggling with jobs, employment, school systems. The economy's not functioning right. You got money being sent, X, Y, and Z overseas to different places. And then you have politicians swaying, to their audiences why you should vote for them. One may come up with solutions as far as what they can do to help with the situation. Another may, come up with another solution or may not have a solution at all as far as how to fix the problems going on economically. So then you're left with the decision as far as, well, who should I vote for? But a person who thinks for themselves is going to sit back and take the time to question, what's going on? Why is it important that we vote? Why is it important that we resolve these issues, or how can we resolve these issues even outside of what politicians may think, right? People who think for themselves, they question the narrative. People who question the narrative are oftentimes in this society, you're either chastised or sometimes you can get ostracized, or people can disrespect your opinion simply because you're not going with the left or the right of the answers. When I say that we should think for ourselves, as people, you should take the time to reflect on what's best for you, so that when it comes to the information, the things that are put out into our world and our society, we're not constantly in a daze just going based off of what the opinions of the world around us are saying. Thinking for ourselves is a lot of times thinking outside of the box. Thinking for ourselves allows us the opportunity to really question, what we know or based on, or what we think is based or feel is based on right according to our intuition, or what it is that we think that's not being put out there. When you think for yourself and you take a step back from society around you, sometimes you'll ask questions or come up with answers that's not oftentimes being put out into the world around you, right? You got the news and media outlets. You got the channels out there, with sports, music, entertainment, And there's so many different influences that cause us to get so caught up in, how we are living our everyday lives and the decisions that we're making. And in our world today, it is very important. It is a very imperative thing that we take the time to reflect on how these influences are impacting lives of those around us and how they're impacting your life. Simply taking the time to think for yourself helps you keep from being involved in situations that could lead to a troublesome act, a troublesome behavior. Thinking for yourself helps you to realize that some situations, some problems, or some people aren't as bad or as major as a meteor or someone, or sources that are putting out about, certain information, pertaining to a certain person or situation, right? But overall, you know, as somebody who I like to think for myself, I'm not someone who's just putting out this message just to say, hey, you need to go out here and think for yourself, but then I don't do that. That's a hypocrite, right? It's being hypocritical. As someone who looks at what's going on in the world around us today, there's so much information, there's so many things that's going on. I actually think I like to say that I take the time to at least question things that are not being said, right? So, example, when we talk about politics or we talk about, worldviews, we talk about race issues, I take the time to question the things that are not questioned, right? So, for example, you can talk about the race issues between white, black, and whoever. Now, you have one side that's spewing out, why they feel like they're oppressed, why they feel like they're being held back. But then you have to also take the time to question if you see things going on within your own community, within your own circle, and you see that these things are not helping your community grow and become better, where people are not, as affluent or growing and prospering the way they should. You know, it's one thing to blame someone else, but then you have to also look at who the finger is pointing back at too. Right? We can't just simply say, that it's always, the left's fault or the right's fault or it's a white person's fault or it's a black person's fault. We got to question things that are not being questioned, right? And a lot of these answers, a lot of these influences that we have going on that are floating out into this world around us have people going astray that instantly, if you point out, some of the truths, and sad to say that we live in a society today where people don't want to accept the truth. People will get fired, for expressing the truth or saying what the truth is. We have to take the time to look at what's going on in a certain situation or circumstance. You know, Sometimes it's not always best to just jump to a conclusion based on what someone is saying, right? Why is that person saying that? What is their target? What is their goal? Thinking for yourself helps you to realize that sometimes some people have an agenda, right? Why does this politician, why is it that, Obama came out and said what he said towards black men about who they should vote for? You know, what is his agenda? What is the target point, right? What is the, the target point behind telling someone why they should, stray away from, a certain community of people based upon racial or political views, right? What are some of the talking points that, are geared towards keeping people silent, right? Why should we not listen to certain people? Why should we not listen to certain things, right? So, when it comes down to it, overall, you want to be someone in this world that thinks for yourself. You question the narrative. You question, what is being told, what is being put out in today's society, right? I'm not saying that I'm always right. I'm not saying I'm always perfect, but I do question a lot of things. I do question a lot of what's being told, what's being put out there. I've seen a lot of people, for example, who were of the pro-black community, put out information about, the system and what's going on within our society and why people, are the way they are, and but then thinking for yourself helps you to go out into the world to see things for yourself, right? And that's another challenge when it comes to being someone who thinks for yourself. You have people spewing one, piece of information, but then when you go out into your everyday life and your everyday society, you don't always see that. You don't see examples of that. You see the opposite, right? So then it makes you question, or it makes you start thinking, is this person right? Are these people right? Do you think for yourself you're able to break down and come up with conclusions or answers that don't always fit the narrative of what's being spoken out? All right. So that's all for my video today. I thank you all for watching. If you were new to my channel, new to just watching my video, please take the time to like, share, and subscribe to my content. I appreciate the information that and the feedback that y'all are gonna give me. And I'm just doing everything I can to help my channel grow, but also working on how I can better my podcast as far as the information I'm putting out. All right, so take care. Have a great day, and go out there and do great things.